Morning everybody, how are y'all doing today? I'm doing great myself because, you know what, in honor of Elden Ring winning Game of the Year 2022, I figured, you know what, I've been putting off beating Radagon for months now, so I went back and I finally beat the game. So all the footage you're going to see in this video is from my New Game Plus playthrough, and my god, it just feels incredible to be completely overpowered. Basically three-shotting bosses in a lot of cases. And now I'm just on the grind to get more endurance so I can eventually dual-wield the great swords. But anyway, that's not why you guys are here. You guys are here because we are going to be taking a look at another PlayStation fanboy having another mental breakdown over Elden Ring winning Game of the Year. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Elden Ring does not deserve Game of the Year 2022. It's just not a good game. And the only people who think it deserves Game of the Year 2022 are idiots. People who are too stupid to know what good games actually are. Casuals.
Nothing like starting off your video by insulting your viewers. Fantastic argument tactic if I do say so myself. The best way to make people agree with you is to insult them. But also, if casuals don't know what actual good games are, then I guess the vast majority of people who play video games just don't know what good games are. Feels bad, man.
And ironically, people that started from software games with Elden Ring. So what, we're supposed to take somebody like you seriously that skipped like 7 other games, went straight to the front of the line, and now you think you're credible? We're supposed to take you seriously? The people that got bodied in every other From Software game they tried to play back in the day and rage quit them forever, but we're supposed to take you seriously? Because you beat Elden Ring, aka the easiest game they've ever made?
Damn, bro, I guess I'm one of those people. I started playing From Software games with Elden Ring. I guess that means my opinion is automatically invalidated. Even though, you know, there's plenty of Elden Ring players who have come from the Dark Souls games, who also praise this game and call it a masterpiece. I guess my opinion is just invalid. What can I say? And also, I'm just gonna say, I haven't personally played any other FromSoft games besides Elden Ring, but I've seen plenty of difficulty ranking videos by other people, and pretty much everybody I've ever watched puts Elden Ring in like the middle of the ground for difficulty. I've never seen a single person say that Elden Ring was the easiest. From what I remember, most people said that Demon Souls was the easiest.
Like, I knew this game was trash when everybody was just winning, and the game was just handing out so many W's to every trash gamer out there, just seeing so many terrible gamers succeed, people that got chewed up and spit out in every other From Software game doing good in the Elden Ring. I was like, yeah, this is a joke. Ain't no honor in beating this game. It's just handing people the win. Here, you get a win. You get a win. You get a win. We want to make sure everybody's included. Did we forget anybody? Oh, the gamer with no thumbs back there. Here, you get a win. You get a win. It's just ridiculous.
Well, riddle me this, dude. If that's the case, and they truly are just handing out wins to everybody, then how come there's still been the controversy of, oh, Dark Souls games are too hard? Why have people still been begging for an easy mode? Do I even need to mention a certain cupcake who started an entire drama because of that? I mean, I don't think anybody's trying to say this is the hardest game ever made, or at least the hardest FromSoft game ever made. But I'm just saying there's a reason why people still complain that there's no easy mode. It's because the game is still very difficult. It's just in this game, there's more ways to make it easier than previous Souls games.
Listen, the only reason it won was because of popularity, not quality. It was undoubtedly the most popular game of 2022. And in these days, in this day and age, popularity equals quality. Am I happy it won over God of War Ragnarok? I mean, yeah, of course, because at least Elden Ring, at the end of the day, is an actual game and not a movie like God of War Ragnarok. So, of course, it's the lesser of two evils.
Now, you might be wondering after hearing that, Chris, I thought you said that this guy was a PlayStation fanboy, but he just dogged on God of War Ragnarok. What are you talking about? And to that, I have to say, we've covered this guy before. He's an old school PlayStation fanboy. He likes everything from the PS3 and prior. He hates basically everything Sony has done now. And I do think that him saying the exact same thing that J-Tech did just proves that. Apparently, all of a sudden, it's a popularity contest. Obviously, if it's multi-platform, it's automatically gonna win Game of the Year. year, right? Even though back in 2018, God of War beat out Red Dead Redemption 2, and in 2020, The Last of Us Part 2 won. Both of which were only on one platform at the time. But sure, whichever game is multi-plat, right?
But with that being said, Elden Ring is once again just not a good game. It's so sad we've reached a point where as long as something is popular, all of its flaws are ignored. As long as something is popular, everybody sucks it off. It's just not good. This is not a good situation, and this is what happens when you give everyone a controller. This is what happens when everyone is allowed to just call themselves a gamer with no consequences.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? This is what happens when people are allowed to be called gamers with no consequences. What does that even mean? This dude's talking like people used to be publicly shamed for liking video games or something like that. But genuine question, how is gaming being more accessible than ever now a bad thing? And why do you care what other people think about a video game? Does it really affect your enjoyment of gaming? If somebody likes a game that you don't, does it really make you enjoy games less? I genuinely don't get it. But please, I would love you to elaborate. What consequences should be imposed if everybody calls themselves a gamer? Then what should happen to them?
The more things start going wrong when you start allowing just anybody to run around, call themselves a gamer, anybody can go pick up a console, anybody can play a game. This is what happens. This is what happens when you let these terrible streamers influence a bunch of just gullible idiots into believing bad games like this are good. A bunch of terrible YouTubers with horrible taste, just influencing gullible kids to think bad games like this are good. This is what happens when there's no sanctions. This is what happens when there's no guidance out there in the world. You get a bunch of dumb people that think Elden Ring deserves Game of the Year 2022.
Dude, you do realize that ever since consoles were invented, anybody could go out and pick one up, right? That's what's beautiful about living in a free society. But seriously, this man has such a bad mentality. He wants less people to have access to things just because they don't have the same opinion as him. This dude might be the most selfish person we've ever covered. But seriously though, I want to know, what is wrong with more people being able to play video games? I know your response is going to be, oh, because then more people have bad taste. Just because they disagree with you doesn't mean they have bad taste. And even if they do, how does that negatively affect you? It's not like you're gonna get a bonus at work or something if more people like the same games you do. You're acting like life-saving medicine is on the line or something. And as for the whole, YouTubers and streamers influencing people on how they think about something, if so many different people have the same take on something, and you are in the minority, shouldn't that say something about you? Shouldn't that say that maybe you're the one with the bad take? Just some food for thought.
As someone that has been playing From Software games since the beginning and is responsible for putting them on the map, because let's be honest, there would be no From Software without me, I can easily say this is one of the worst games they've ever made. And once again, I'm qualified to say that. I've played all their games. You haven't. I'm not even just talking about the Souls games. I've played Armored Core. You haven't. I knew about From Software games before the internet, before some garbage YouTubers started talking about it, before some garbage streamers started talking about it. You didn't. I'm qualified to talk about this. I know what I'm talking about. You don't.
How do you know that nobody watching this video is in the same boat as you? But this is the exact same mentality he has when it comes to PlayStation. Apparently, without him, there would be no From Software. The company wouldn't exist, which, I'm not an expert in this field or anything, but something tells me that you didn't really help set up or establish From Software or anything like that. Something tells me that even without you, they would have been just fine. And also, you're talking about, I've beaten every single game. I've played all the games. I'm more qualified. Would you like to show some proof? Because without proof, your words aren't worth the air they're uttered into. And also, could you please explain what exactly is so bad about Elden Ring? Because you've been going on and on about it, but you still haven't given any reasons why it's so bad.
Stay in your place, peasant. Elden Ring has a boring bland open world. Its story, characters, and lore are just not interesting. The music is not good. The gameplay is overly repetitive. You fight the same bosses over and over again, the same enemies over and over again. I've made multiple groundbreaking videos about the game explaining why it's so garbage, so I'll just keep it at that. But this is just not a good game at all, and it only won once again due to popularity and because of how bad overall this year was for gaming. I mean, 2022 was horrible.
Yeah, 2022 was horrible for gaming in terms of Xbox, at least in terms of new releases. But PlayStation and FromSoft killed it this year. And as for your complaints, the open world is absolutely not bland. There's tons of different regions, and it's probably one of the biggest open worlds in a game I've ever played. The story and characters are actually really interesting, but then again, you're probably the type of person to say that Elden Ring has no story. And yeah, I will agree, there is some boss repetition, but any boss types that repeat are optional. There are no main storyline boss repeats. And yes, I understand that you fight Margit twice, but he has different movesets both times. And with Godfrey, they add a second stage the second time you fight him. So yeah, obviously there's repetition, but with the amount of unique, different, interesting bosses in the game, I don't blame them for repeating some. You can only be so creative. And I would honestly say FromSoft pushed their creativity to their limits.
What was the competition? I mean, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden Flop, Stray, like those games were even worse. So of course Elden Ring was going to win, but it didn't deserve to. If there was just another game that was just slightly good, it would have beat Elden Ring. But it's like every game released in 2022 was horrible. It was just like the lesser of multiple evils. Like, okay, do we choose God of War Ragnarok is a horrible game, but I'll take Elden Ring over that. So like I said, they were all bad games. All bad games this year. There was nothing good.
I mean, dude, your entire channel is dedicated to hating on every single new popular game that comes out. So even if there was a better, more popular game than Elden Ring, you would still be hating on it. I know it, you know it. I think everybody who's ever watched your channel before knows it. Also, you messed up the meme with Horizon. It's Horizon Forgotten West, not Horizon Forbidden Flops.
Just terrible, but don't take my excitement for Elden Ring beating God of War as me saying that Elden Ring is a good game, because I still think it's a terrible game. But am I happy again that it won over God of War Ragnarok? Yes. Yes, I am. Because God of War Ragnarok is a movie, and movies don't deserve to win Game of the Year awards. That's just what it is. But back to Elden Ring, it's just a horrible game. Hopefully next year we can get back to games being good due to their quality and not popularity, unlike 2022.
Well, luckily for you, dude, we're already at that point. People don't think games are good because of popularity. I know it's hard to believe, especially with the Call of Duty franchise nowadays, but people still do have standards. And like I said before, no matter what anybody does, no matter what any developer does, you're still gonna hate it at the end of the day because it gets you the clicks.
You know, too many fake gamers with bad taste thinking games like Elden Ring are good when they're far from that. This was just the year of just casualism. Like, it was just so weird how before this, no From Software game generated this type of buzz. It was From Software games were always those kind of like underground things to where if you knew, you knew, but it wasn't this mainstream crazy thing like it was with Elden Ring. It just brought in so many of these casual losers that had never played a From Software game, or if they played one, they dropped them because they were too hard for their casual asses. And then it just brought a whole bunch of them into Elden Ring, and then all of a sudden the game just explodes. Like, it was just so weird. But
this honestly sounds like projecting. What I bet happened is this dude got stuck on Soldier of Godric and he could never make it past there. And now he just hates Elden Ring with all his heart. Which, don't worry, dude, I get it. Soldier of Godric, easily the hardest boss in the game. Millennia took me like 10 or 12 hours to beat. Soldier of Godric, you know, all I'm gonna say is there's a reason I have like 80 hours in my one save file of Elden Ring. About 60 of those were beating Soldier of Godric, 10 of them were beating Millennia, and the rest were just speedrunning the rest of the game. But in all seriousness, we're about to be done, so let's just go ahead and push through this.
Overall, again, the game is not good. It doesn't deserve to win Game of the Year. It only won due to popularity. It's just not a good game. If you think it deserves this Game of the Year award, you're an idiot. You have terrible taste. You're not a gamer, and I guarantee you did not beat all the other From Software games. Show me your trophies, clown. Show me your achievements, clown. Show me your PC gaming history. You people don't actually play games. I do. Frauds.
Well, since you're talking all this smack, where are your achievements? Show us your PC gaming history. Because you love to brag about how great you are at all these From Software games, and you know definitively that Elden Ring sucks. But where exactly are all your trophies and achievements? I haven't seen a whole lot throughout this video. But yeah, guys, the truth has been exposed. We are all just idiots for enjoying a game that this guy does not like. This is truly upsetting. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will catch you all next time.